Our kids, our parents, we've had great support this whole year. Our kids really stepped up. Just want to kind of like summarize the season for you guys, and obviously you guys know how it all played out. From a coach's perspective, obviously I feel we had a great season. And I know our kids, you guys should feel proud of what we accomplished. We were the #1 seed of our division, actually of the whole, we were undefeated. We were the only team undefeated. And league champions. So give it a round of applause for our team, guys. When I took this team over the year before, we were a 7U team. We weren't expected to win. We were literally David versus Goliath the whole way. But our kids stepped to the plate that year. We almost won our division. We were ranked higher than kids or teams that were 8 and 9 at that time. So being optimistic going into this year, we were very excited at the possibility because we knew we had a great team and we knew we could do, we could make some noise. But if I would have told you guys, right, and this is something I shared with some parents, but just to give you perspective, if I would have told you that we lost our offensive player of the year, our defensive player of the year, our X Factor players of the year, which is another award, would you think we would go on to be the #1 seed and undefeated that year? Would you guys think that would happen? Most teams would have crumbled in that sense, right? Losing 4 core players. What's crazy about that is we lost those 4 core players, but we went on to be the #1 seed, undefeated league champions. And to me, that's a testament to our kids who stepped up when others left, or not left because we still have great relationships with those kids. They pursued other sports, but with that being said, our current players stepped up. And I honestly talked to our coaches, and everybody that stepped up in the roles where we lost those players, I didn't feel like we were losing anything. I felt like we were just as good. So there was never, to me, a drop-off where I felt like, we're going to have a worse team this year because, we lost those guys. We had guys step up. We had guys that the previous year were must players, right? Or what they would call a must play. Somebody who's not, the 10 play, right? Who went on to be great players that year or this year. And to me, that's what me and Ace have talked about. All our coaches have talked about. What excites us to be coaches is to see the leap, right? To see one year to the next, how a player could just develop and just take his game to a whole new level. So that's what gets me up at the end of the day to coach. I started coaching for my son. That was really the reason why I started coaching, like most people here. But then you develop these relationships with these kids that it's an unbreakable bond that I'm going to take with me forever. And I hope these kids continue to do well, which I know they will. And they'll remember us as their youth coaches that helped them along the way. Hopefully one day they make it to the next level where I can say, I knew that kid, I coached him, or we can say that. And maybe we get in the game to be on the NFL sideline one day. Wait, but who knows, right? That can happen. Dreams come true, right? So with that being said, we're going to get started, but I just wanted to just summarize because we had a great year, guys. You guys should be very proud of what we accomplished. Although we got to that first round exit, we went into double overtime against a very good team that had a kid that was probably double the size of most of our kids here. And yet we still were that close to winning that game. And so to me, as much as, sometimes people can think, well, we didn't get to the big game. Guys, in my eyes, we did our thing. There's a reason why we have these shirts as undefeated league champs. So be proud of yourselves. Let me give one more round of applause for our team, guys. All right, next up is also a first-year kid with us. I know his family really well, especially his grandfather. I actually coached with him and worked with him at the high school level. But this kid was definitely he had the famous gritty. Like, there's no better gritty than this kid. And we would always constantly challenge him to do it in practice. And this kid has potential. You can already see the moves, the cuts. He just needs to grow into his body a little more, which obviously is going to happen through life, right? But when this kid gets going, I look forward to seeing his his growth through the years. And just always know Coach Ken loves you, okay? Always remember that, okay? So with that being said, Anthony Lopez, come up here, man. Trying to do the video up here? Hey, do the video up here, next time, right? All right, here's another first-year player with us. Also a kid that, one thing about this kid had probably one of the most positive outlooks every practice. He was always a yes sir kid. I always look forward to and something he'd say in the huddle, or just certain things he would do. It's just part of the joy of coaching. And again, you guys are privileged a lot to what we experience as coaches out there on the field with these kids, as far as how they make us laugh in the huddle. Or there's times I'm trying to be serious. People know me as a serious coach at times, even though I can be pretty personable with the kids, but I can tend to be serious. And there's times that I can't not laugh, when they're telling me something in the huddle. But this kid was surely one of them. And one thing I also want to thank his parents. I know we had them film our games at times, and they were very gracious to do that. And so with that being said, Espinoza, we look forward to seeing you. Here today. He's also a player that obviously was his first year with us, and he did a lot of good things. I know we had his family on our staff, and we did, obviously, this player is somebody that I look forward to seeing, hopefully in the future. We'll see what the future holds for him, but that's Jonathan Agbiana, so let's give a hand for him.